Hello and welcome. We start with Donald Trump's latest order that slams the door shut on millions of citizens worldwide. It's an unprecedented move. We'll tell you how and which countries will feel the brunt. Now, yesterday he signed a presidential proclamation. Now, think of it like an official announcement, an order that a president wants to communicate. A proclamation can be symbolic, like when a holiday is announced, or when a particular group is honored, but it can also have legal ramifications. It depends on the kind of situation or emergency. And what did he reveal through it? Some sweeping travel restrictions. It targets about 20 countries. And here's the kicker. Nearly half of them are from Africa. Here's the list. Chad, the Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Libya, Somalia, Sudan. 7 African countries are facing a complete ban. It means that no one from these nations can enter the United States of America at any cost. Whether business, travel, or study, one cannot obtain the U.S. visa. That's what a total ban on a country entails. And that's not all. There are partial restrictions as well. Burundi, Sierra Leone, and finally Togo. Visitors from these countries face certain prohibitions, but there will be certain exemptions. Say, for example, temporary work visas or athletes traveling for major sporting events. Those can be considered. The question that you might be asking is, why? And why specifically now? Since it has been 5 months since he has taken office, it's because of national security concerns. That's what the White House is saying. Citizens of these countries, among others, are potential threats to America's national safety. Trump's order comes after a recent attack in the U.S. state of Colorado. A man threw firebombs at people and set them on fire. This incident, according to Trump, showed how foreigners are dangerous.
The recent terror attack in Boulder, Colorado, has underscored the extreme dangers posed to our country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here as temporary visitors and overstay their visas. We don't want them. In the 21st century, we've seen one terror attack after another carried out by foreign visa overstayers from dangerous places all over the world.
But here's the catch. The incident that's in question here involved a man from Egypt, a country that is neither in Trump's total ban or partial restriction list. The man was arrested by U.S. authorities, and it was found that he had overstayed his visa. Now, Trump's latest order is similar to what he did during his first term in 2017. And that's why some are even saying that history is repeating itself. Back then, Trump imposed travel bans on countries like Libya and Sudan, among others. It was labeled as a Muslim ban, since most countries in his list had a Muslim majority. But then it was repealed when former President Joe Biden came to power. Trump says he wants to keep America safe. His proclamation comes into effect on the 9th of June. How will Africa face the heat? Now, for more on this, we have with us on the show Boitumelo Ben Senokoane, who is an associate professor at UNISA and a political commentator, joining us live from Pretoria, South Africa. Thank you for being with us.
Jen, good afternoon to the viewers.
Now, Prof, what specific criteria did the Trump administration use to justify including these particular African countries in this travel ban? And how credible are those security concerns?
Look, there is no reality about security concern. We know that it is not about that in the Trump administration. Rather, what we are witnessing several things. First, it's religious war, Zionism versus Islamic wars. We are experiencing blue economy wars. We are experiencing the sky economy wars. We are experiencing amongst the many, like you are saying yourself, the trade wars. So that's more or less where we find ourselves. The Trump administration is trying to redefine the world, politics and economy. And it has identified specific countries as critical in redefining that. But what it does is to disguise that as something else other than what it is supposed to be.
And what impact is this ban likely to have on diplomatic relations and economic ties between the United States and the affected African nations?
Look, there will be, of course, consequences for both the United States because it will lose something, unfortunately. It is not like they are not losing. Of course, but it will be at a smaller scale compared to us. But remember what the US is doing. It is calculated move in ensuring that they can bully and use tactics temporarily to achieve bigger results in the future. So they can, for now, endure the pressure patiently so, while knowing that through the returns, they will be able to make up for the loss that they will be experiencing now. But of course, for our African countries, we know that the results will be severe because the world in general, and in this case, Africa, is heavily dependent on the US subsidies, trade relations with US, and Africa has not learned to be self-dependent and as always dependent on Europe or America or other countries. And that's where our shortfall is, and the results will be felt. But I hope that African countries will use this as an opportunity to build their economic strength, to become self-reliant as countries, but also as a country, but also using the BRICS alliance in redefining world economic.
Yes. And how do such travel bans align with international human rights norms? And what legal or political recourse do these countries have, if any, to challenge or respond to these restrictions?
Look, there are multiple legal recourses and using world forums. But the reality of the matter is that those forums are heavily dependent on the US for funding, but even for operation. Politically, they are dependent on US. Militarily, they are dependent on the US. So even if there would be complaints, they will not work because USA and its presidents are always exonerated and they are untouchable in as far as the repercussions are concerned. They can kill anyone in the world. They can't be arrested. They can bully anyone in the world. There are no repercussions coming their direction. Of course, until such a time that the world say enough is enough and they are able to work together against the US until such a time that the US respects other nations.
Absolutely. Thank you for being with us on Firstpost Africa. As always, great to have you on the show.
Thank you very much.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
$36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka-charge mo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Skali radikali.
Japanese,
$4 trillion mo.
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.